We have the largest options expiration ever, the largest in history, okay, for Bitcoin and for Ethereum. We have never seen an options expirations larger than today. 18 billion in total. And whenever we have this, okay, we do have both sides, the longs and the shorts, right, trying to move Bitcoin and Ethereum in this case, right, to their side. And sometimes they move it to the max pain point, right, because both sides want to win, no sides want to lose. So on days like today, we do sometimes see some massive movement or massive volatility. But there's also days like this where we end and there's no movement because both sides just get caught in the middle and both sides lose. Or one side wins a little bit and one side loses a little bit, right? But yeah, generally speaking, the last Friday of every month is when you have options expiration. And you also have CME futures. We have a futures expiration as well, but usually options is what really moves things. But I didn't know today. It actually makes sense because it's the last day of the year. Today is the largest ever in history, right? So this is pretty massive. It's happening today. And when this concludes, okay, we could finally see some real movement once again. This may be one of the reasons why we haven't been moving all that much is because we do have, you know, again, the longs and the shorts trying to move markets one way or another because they want to profit, you know, based on, you know, their calls or puts. And it could also have to do with Wall Street too, because a lot of these guys are playing with their options as well, right? So this is happening today. I don't know exactly when it's all over. I know normally like CME futures and stuff, I think that's around 11 or 12 p.m. is when you have to make your last call, like last order. I don't know about like options like Dearbit and all those guys or Binance. You could do your options. I don't know when like the last order has to be placed. So I don't know the exact time when this is over, but it's sometime today. And we'll see. We'll see what happens when it is over. South Korea is in a mess right now. So I know you guys heard, you know, a few weeks ago, their president tried to implement martial law for whatever silly reason. He got impeached. They got some acting president in, and now he got impeached because he was supposed to fully impeach the prior president, and he didn't do that or something. So now he's getting impeached 2 weeks on the job. So South Korea is in a freaking mess right now. But why this relates to crypto is because while there's this, you know, all this turmoil going on, right? Their dollar is collapsing. And what's known as the kimchi premium is spiking in South Korea, right? A lot of citizens are panicking right now. And you know what? It takes it's more costly to buy Bitcoin in South Korea right now because their dollar is collapsing, right? So you figure that's a good thing for Bitcoin, but this could also be a reason why Bitcoin is seeing volatility. It could be because a lot of people in South Korea is one of the biggest countries for crypto and Bitcoin, right? And it could, if you think about it, maybe due to all the turmoil, a lot of them could be selling because they're fearful of what's going on in their country. Whenever there's fear, the number one reaction for most people is just to sell. Sell and dump. Even with gold, whenever we have market dumps, true market dumps, People even sell gold. They just sell everything. They just like think cash is king, so I'm just going to put everything in cash, right? So this also could be one of the reasons why we've been seeing volatility, is because like no one knows what the hell's going on in South Korea. Like this new president, acting president, is getting impeached. So who's going to be the new acting president? And no one really knows. The good thing is the ETF outflows have stopped. Okay, we had 4 consecutive outflow days, added up to $1.5 billion, which is quite a lot. But yesterday, we did actually have close to 500 million of inflow. So it does show you not everyone is panicking. Not everyone is dumping, right? There are a lot that's thinking, okay, this enough is enough. Things have gotten cheap enough where it's a good opportunity to buy, right? So that's the good thing. Not everyone is panicked. There are a lot that agrees with me. Hey, dips are gifts at this point. We're not going to be at these levels forever. We are going to take advantage and pick up while we still can, right? So that's how it is. So this is encouraging that we didn't have a 5th straight day of outflow. We actually had a pretty good inflow day yesterday. So let's see if it continues today and then the next 2 days, right, next week until the end of the month. So that's encouraging that we saw a pretty massive inflow yesterday to kind of, stop the bleeding, so to speak, for the ETFs. MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor, who of course is not stopping at all, and this is kind of crazy, his DCA strategy that I've been talking about for years, it's something that we all could have mimicked, right? Just basically DCA. You don't have to worry about tops or bottoms. If you have the money, you just continue to DCA. But recently, he has gone pretty crazy, like really leveraging his company to buy as much Bitcoin as he can. It is really not about DCAing anymore. It's really about leveraging. So as you can see, within the last month or two, okay, he has acquired 200,000 Bitcoin. So he basically doubled the amount of Bitcoin he now holds within 2 months. That is crazy, okay? For good and for bad. Yesterday I showed a clip that he said basically he was selling off shares. And he was able to do that, and people believed in it because he put down Bitcoin as collateral. So he gave an example where he sold $1.5 billion worth of shares. He put down $500 million worth of Bitcoin as collateral, right? Net gain of $1 billion. What did he do? Well, he took that $1.5 billion, right? And he bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. So his example is, well, if I could do that, I could just keep doing it. Now that I have $1.5 billion worth more of Bitcoin, well, then now I could issue $5 billion worth of stock, right? And with that $5 billion worth of stock, I can buy $5 billion worth more Bitcoin. And then once I have $5 billion worth more Bitcoin, I can issue, $8 billion worth of stock, right? Like it's just like a forever rolling leverage strategy, right? That's what basically he was talking about. And it kind of sounds scary. It kind of sounds like he's using this strategy and just like leveraging way too much at this point. But that's what he's been doing basically. And And that's how he was able to acquire 200,000 Bitcoin within like 2 months, which is crazy.